Brian Crombie, Radio Hour. I'm back. I thought it was a fascinating conversation we just had. I wanted to leave you with some quick thoughts, and that is the ratio of disposable income to housing prices in the United States versus Canada. And if you take a look at, and for those of you that are on video, you can see my chart in the video, but if you take a look at the difference between the disposable income versus real estate prices in Canada and the United States, we track pretty comparable to the United States until 2000. Up until 2008, the US accelerated ahead of us. And then 2008, 2009, because of the housing crisis in the United States, they saw a fairly major decline and then recovered after that. And housing prices today in the United States are back to where they were on average across the United States to where they were in 2007 prior to the crash. And so therefore, they had a fairly substantial crash. And 12 years later, they're back to where they were. In Canada, it's a whole different story. We didn't have the huge run up in 2008, 2009, but we ran up without any decline until right now. Such that today, if you take a look at an index between housing prices and disposable income, they're about the same in the United States. And in Canada, they're almost 2 times as large, which means that it takes twice as much disposable income in Canada to afford the exact same house as it does in the United States. It's an astonishing differential in the graphs between the United States and Canada, such that I think there's been a lot of people that know this. Resort properties, condominiums, houses in comparable places in suburban and rural or resort United States are half the price, if not a third of the price of what that house is in Canada. Now, it's different in New York and Los Angeles and San Francisco, so big major centers, it's different. But on average, that's what you see is a comparable house costs 2 to 3 times as much in Canada. And more importantly, twice as much versus the disposable income in Canada, which means that we just don't have nearly as much money left over after the cost of our housing. And that's a major problem in Canada. It's a mistake given the lack of supply that governments have created, and I think it is a suggestion that we could be facing a crash, a bubble burst, because what happened in the United States and what happened in a lot of European countries in the Great Recession in 2008, 2009 didn't happen in Canada, and Canada just kept on going because of low interest rates. And we still haven't had that bubble burst. And I'm not saying it's going to, but I think if it ever will, this is the triggering event right now with the dramatic increase in interest rates that might cause it. So buyer beware. Anyway, that's my show for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Crombie on the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. I'm on every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock on 960 a.m. Good night, everybody.